Dheya masterpieces. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you dealing with this lockdown?
Actually, pretty frustrated right now because I can't go out and can't do anything. But luckily, my office is nearby, like
Yeah.
right next to my house, so I can just go sit there, spend some time there,
Mhm.
read, work on my. I have college classes going on, so that I have my dissertation work, etc. So I've been doing that. So I've been keeping myself busy. Not
That's
exactly bored, but yeah, a little bit bored.
Yeah. Well, Ishan, can we start by knowing a bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So Ishan, born in '96, so I'm about 23 now. And so I was born and brought up in Kolhapur actually.
Okay.
So I started studying in St. Xavier's High School in Kolhapur actually. I
Mhm.
was till fourth standard.
Okay.
So around fourth, my parents realized I think I need a CBSE study background.
Okay.
And that time in Kolhapur, there were no good CBSE schools. So they decided to put me in a boarding school
Okay.
in Panchani. That is a hill station near Pune.
Yeah.
So I went there in fourth. I had to repeat fourth standard actually because most of the people who were born in '96 were in fourth standard in that school.
Yeah.
So I went there, and then that was just that I still like thank my parents for sending me to that boarding school because that helped me build my personality a lot. I
Yeah.
was kind of an introvert before going there, and then slowly I started getting to know people, and then those people are still my friends. Actually, some of them are my best friends till today.
Yeah.
And then slowly I got then by 10th standard I graduated from there, and then 11th and 12th my parents thought I thought I should stay home for 2 years at least. So
Mhm.
then I stayed in Kolhapur in 11th and for 11th and 12th. So
Mhm.
in that period I was just fooling around etc. So just to be on a safer side I took science side.
Yeah.
But my parents, my father and my grandfather both are actually lawyers. So
Okay.
that kind of from when I was small, I used to go to courts. I used to come and sit in the office or like help my granddad with some paperwork or my dad with my paperwork, etc. So I was kind of inclined towards law from the beginning, but I was not sure as yet. So in around 11th standard, I think when I told my dad, I think my dad didn't like there was no family pressure at all. Like what do you want to do? And all avenues are open. Do whatever you want. That was the message from my family. So I think in around 11th standard, I kind of got inclined towards law because in science I didn't have any interest in chemistry or physics, and math was not my strong suit exactly.
Yeah.
But loved reading. I loved making up stories, fake stories. So that's kind of a lost job maybe. So then I think that's when I met Ashwini ma'am and sir.
Okay.
So that's when I met them, and they gave me various options, and they told me to pursue music, etc. Also, but I was not that much inclined towards music and all. Basically, my aim was to earn a lot of money and get rich, like from when I was small.
Okay.
And I know musicians, you can do that, but I never believed that musicians can actually earn money. So that I was a little bit away from that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
kind of tilted more towards law, and then basically I knew by end of 11th standard I knew what I wanted to do, which
Okay.
was. But then later I didn't know how to go about it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what exams to give. I kind of did my own research, but I was not very thorough with it. So then my parents and many counselors, etc., helped me with like how to go about everything, etc. And then kind of I gave CLAT. I think in 12th standard I was not exactly preparing for my board exams. I was preparing for CLAT. I think after my 12th board exam, I did a 2-month crash course for CLAT exam also in Pune. I think there's a place called Law Guru. So over there, there's a sir called Gajanan Chaudhary. So he was helping me with that. Logical reasoning, etc., and basic law principles, which I had to study for CLAT. And then I think then after that, I applied for a few universities which were shortlisted. So one of them was Symbiosis Pune, Christ University, Bangalore. Then later, I think there was Army Law Institute, Mohali, and then I was giving CLAT obviously. So all those universities, etc. So those were the basic planning. And I don't think that time there was a Maharashtra CET for CLAT, which I think is there now for law schools. It's there. So then around that time, the first exam which I gave was for Symbiosis. Symbiosis, I think I got selected for the interview, etc. And then again, second exam which I gave was Christ University entrance exam. In that, I think they let me know in a week itself that I was selected for the course, etc. They had a personal interview, exam, blah blah blah, that whole procedure. And later, I was selected for Christ University, and I think 3 days later I had CLAT. So I was kind of selected for Symbiosis and selected in Christ, like the top two law schools of India. So I was like, okay, now I don't need to give CLAT seriously. And I think I slacked off a little bit in CLAT, and I got good rankings anyway in CLAT. So that was just gone. So and then two options were Symbiosis and Christ University. So Pune, I didn't want to stay near home because from when I'm small, I've always been outside, like from 4th to 10th. And Kolhapur is like a holiday place for me now. So whenever I come here, like I don't get in the mood of studying or like working actually. It's just chilling with friends and then this and that. That's all. So and plus my maternal granddad. He's in Bangalore. He's a big politician there, etc. So I was like, it's better to just go there, and that's how I got into Christ University, Bangalore. So and then those 5 years was just amazing. Like study time, study, enjoyment time, enjoy. That was it. Made some brilliant friends there, and the best thing about Christ was again like people from all over India were there. So basically, I was not just talking Marathi or the local language there, so that helped me improve a lot in my basic English, etc. And teachers were brilliant there. And then later, I think by the end of when I was in fifth year, so I decided that I think this is not enough. Maybe we need to do something more. So just to be on the safer side, I wanted a post-graduation degree. But post-graduation, I actually wanted to do it from outside of India. But then it was working out to be very expensive. Like I checked out colleges in Australia and the UK because those are the best for Indian law, etc. They were working out to be very expensive, and I didn't want to start off my career with a loan as such.
Right.
So, and plus I didn't want to put that pressure on my family, parents, etc. So now, like I thought of doing two post-graduation degrees. So for first one, I decided to do it in India itself. And so in fifth year, we had this brilliant professor for evidence law. So I was not inclined towards criminal side of law on as such, but then that sir who was teaching us evidence law, he was a practicing lawyer, etc. And he was very nice, and he pushed me towards criminal law, and like I loved evidence law. Then again IPC was again one of my favorite subjects. So I was more into towards criminal law, so I thought of doing LLM in criminal law. So then I looked out for colleges, etc. Christ actually didn't have LLM in criminal law. Again, two options were Simbi and Amity. These were the, like I went through the course plans, etc. on the websites, and Simbi, like I didn't even go for the interview actually, and then I just thought, like again close to home, that's why, and I wanted to go so far off north again. So then I selected Amity, Jaipur. So currently I'm studying LLM there. First semester was brilliant, and then second semester just started. Had come back for my Rang Panchami holidays. That's when Corona struck, and I'm stuck here now. So yeah, that's about it for my education and what I've been doing till now with my career, etc.
Well, that's quite a concise history. And so you have a bachelor's degree, and you're going to have a master's degree, and then you're planning on getting another master's degree.
Yes, not immediately after my this. Maybe after collecting some money after a few years down the line, maybe I'll try, but not in India. Somewhere I get up somewhere outside India. Only
that's
then.
a good plan. That's a good plan. You said that your office is next to your house, so you're working part time as well.
So I have classes going on for college, and most of the time I sit and work on my dissertation, my LLM dissertation, which got I think I submitted it like yesterday for plagiarism report. Let's see how that works out. And I have classes going on, and so we skipped our midterm exam because of this. So we have our midterm exam starting this week. So I've been working on that, and the main thing I've been working on is improving my Marathi, which is reading and writing. And because in Kolhapur Marathi is very slacky, so it's kind of very gouty Marathi. So my pronunciation from when I was young has not always been correct or right. So while writing itself, all the lings, matras, etc. are all wrong, everything. And plus I'm learning proper legal Marathi, which is used in court every day, etc. Because as of now, my plan is to work in Kolhapur at least for a year and a half, and then maybe go to a higher court, etc. So again, this plan I consulted many people, like my dad and my grandfather, obviously, few of their colleagues. Then again, actually my dad is very good friends with one of the judges in the Bombay High Court and Advocate General of Maharashtra. So it's very senior people in the Bombay bar, etc. So I spoke to them also about what should I do next, etc. And I think everyone suggested that you start working from the lower courts itself. So you get your civil and criminal trial procedure straight. And because many students, what they do is right after graduation, they kind of jump into the high court litigation, which is not exactly right, and it's very tough like to understand that procedure directly because you don't know what goes on in the lower courts. So that's my plan, at least for a year and a half. So I made this plan. My dad said, first of all, you need, because lower courts everything is in Marathi, like from FIRs which we file, they are in Marathi in Kolhapur, not in Pune, Bombay maybe, but in Kolhapur everything is in Marathi. So I need to get my Marathi right. So I started working. So I write every day one page of Marathi, 1 or 2 pages, and then my dad sometimes dictates me something, so I write that down. Otherwise I sit and read Marathi for I think about an hour.
Mm-hmm. That's a different thing I'm hearing, to be honest. That you have to actually sit down and learn Marathi,
Yeah, actually,
but
and
it's good that
no,
you're
that's
doing
because
it.
I never had Marathi in my school. Also, I think I had Marathi in school from 8 to 10, but that
Okay,
was very basic Marathi. Like
right.
8th standard, we start. It was a second language, so it was
Mhm.
not
Yeah, yeah,
focused on as such.
yeah. It's
So,
very basic in school. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So, and 11, 12, nothing. 5 years again, only English because law. And then over
yeah.
there, I never hardly even spoke Marathi. So, I need to improve my Marathi a lot.
Right.
So, I've been
Well,
working
good
on
luck with that.
that. Thank you.
Ishan, do you have any 5 or 10 years plan in place? Like you said that you have started learning Marathi and your father
Yes.
is helping you with the basics of law and the court proceedings. So do you
Correct.
have any concrete 5 or 10 year plan in place at the moment?
Concrete, not as such, but I have a plan and I hope it works out as like I'm hoping. So my plan is, so I was supposed to graduate by the end of this May. Next month, I think it will still happen, but I think it will just be postponed by a month or so.
Yeah.
So after graduation, I was planning on taking, I think, a week or two off just to cool off. And then I would start working. So what my plan is here is working at least 1.5 to 2 years in Kolhapur in big district courts and session courts and consumer courts, labor courts, etc.
Right.
So my dad doesn't take criminal cases, and my dad wants me to work under him because he's falling short of juniors also, and he
Right.
needs a researcher because many people who he has here are not exactly that great in research, etc. So he needs a proper researcher, etc. And I worked in a lot of moot courts and all in college, so I'm pretty good with my research work, etc. So my dad wants me working with him. So I think what the plan is as of now, in as like for the next 2 years at least, is 3 days a week I'll work with my father, and 3 days a week I'll work with a criminal lawyer somewhere in Kolhapur itself because I want to pursue criminal law also.
Right. Right.
So, and my dad isn't a criminal; he's only in the civil
Yeah.
side, and my granddad. So, 3 days or something like that. So
Yeah.
that I'll figure out when I start working, and then after 1.5, 2 years, when I'm pretty confident in myself that I'll be able to handle myself in front of a higher judge, like High Court or Supreme Court, etc.
Yeah.
So, kind of can't enter so soon in your career. So then I
Yeah.
plan on shifting to Bombay, working in the Bombay High Court under a lawyer again, juniorship. That is supposed to usually go on around for 3, 4 years more, where you
Okay.
are kind of apprentice of a lawyer, and then you start your own practice. So that's a kind of plan for the next 5, 6 years, maybe. Hope it
That,
works.
that's good planning. And
Thank
I hope
you.
you get successful in whatever you have planned. Aisha, it was really nice talking to you. To conclude, do you have anything to say to your viewers?
This was advice actually given by one of my dad's friends who's a pretty senior lawyer. So, and actually follow that advice. It works out pretty soon. So it works out pretty well. So no matter what you do in the day, keep 1 hour aside for your own stuff, and you should sit alone and just do whatever you like. Maybe it might be reading, maybe you like watching something, but make sure you do that every day non-stop. Like that 1 hour you just keep separate for yourself. That helps you think about yourself. It helps you, like, it improves yourself. So like self-confidence, etc. Whatever you watch, videos you watch, you read, you do whatever you want, and I don't know, work hard, stay focused, and it's always good to have a plan and a backup plan to fall back on in case everything doesn't work out. That's all.
Thank you so much, Ishan, for connecting with us today.
Yes.
And I wish you good luck with your
Thank you.
planning and with your career as well.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you so much.
Bye bye. See you.
Bye.